Shri Parashakti Vidyala CBSE Class 8th Subject English.
Good morning, students. Today we are going to study the first lesson, the best Christmas present in the world. In the previous class, we finished the first part of the story. Now we are going to study the second and third part of the story. Let us go to the lesson. Take the page number 10 and 11. Dearest Connie, I write to you in a much happier frame of mind because something wonderful has just happened that I must tell you about at once. We were all standing to in our trenches. Standing to means taking up position. Trenches means long deep ditches in the ground where the soldiers hide from the enemy. The Christmas morning, it was crisp and quite all about as beautiful a morning as I have ever seen, as cold and frosty as a Christmas morning should be. I should like to able to tell you that was began it. But the truth I am ashamed to say is the Fritz began it. Fritz means the name for a German soldiers. Fritz is common German name. You can say in the glossary. First someone saw the white flag waved from the trenches opposite. Then they were calling out to us from across no man's land. Happy Christmas, Tommy. Happy Christmas. When we had got over the surprise, some of us shouted back, Same to you, Fritz, same to you. I thought that would be that. We all did, but then suddenly one of them was up there in his grey coat and waving the white flag. Don't shoot, lads, someone shouted, and no one did. Then there was another Fritz up, another parapet, and another. Keep your heads down, I told the man. It is a trick, but it was not. Here, Tommy means a common English name used here to refer the British soldiers. It's a common name used to refer the British soldiers. One of the German was waving a bottle above his head. It is Christmas Day, Tommy. We have schnapps. Schnapps means a German drink made from grain. We have sausage. We made 2 years. By this time there were dozens of them walking towards us across Norman land and not a rifle between them. Little Private Maurice was the first stop. Come on, boys, what are we waiting for? And then there was no stopping them. I was the officer, I should have stopped them there and then. I suppose, but the truth is that it never even occurred to me I should. All along their lines and ours, I could see the men walking slowly towards one another. Grey coats, khaki coats, meeting in a middle. And I was one of them. I was part of this. In the middle of the war, we are making peace. You cannot imagine the dearest Connie, my feeling as I looked into the eyes of the Fritz officer, who approached me, hand outstretched, hands wolf. He said, gripping my hand warmly and holding it. I am from the desert food. I played the cello in orchestra. Happy Christmas. Cello means a musical instrument like a large violin. And the summary is the paragraph is summary of this page is there the author found a envelope in the secret drawer. The author read the letter. The letter had been written by German captain whose name was Jim Macpherson. He had written the letter to his wife Connie. Jim Macpherson had narrated a wonderful experience in his letter that had happened on this battlefield in Christmas Eve. The British and the Germans were at war. Both the armies were standing in their stretchers on Christmas morning. Someone from the German side was waving off the white flag. Then they were calling out of the British soldiers. They were wishing Happy Christmas to the British soldiers who wished them back in return. Surprisingly, some German soldiers started moving towards them. The captain was alarmed as he thought that they might attack them. But it turned out that they brought a German wine and canned meat along with them. They were hugging one another and celebrating the Christmas evening. There were no guns between them. In the middle of the war, they were trying to make peace. German officer moved towards the Macpherson. He shook his hands and introduced himself as a Han Wolf Dusseldorf. He said that he loved to play with the cello in orchestra and greeted Macpherson for the Christmas. Page number 12. Captain Jim Macpherson, I replied, and a happy Christmas to you too. I'm a school teacher from Dorset in the west of England. As Dorset, he smiled. I know this place. I know it very well. We shared my rum ration and his excellent sausage. And we talked the Connie how we talked. He spoke almost perfect English, but it turned out that he had never set foot in Dorset, never even been to England. He had learned all he knew of England from school and from reading books in English. His favorite writer was Thomas Hardy. His favorite book is Far from the Madding Crowd. So, out there is no man land we talked of Bathsheba and Gabriel of and Sergeant Troy and Dorset. He had a wife and one son, born just 6 months ago. As I looked about me, there were a huddle of khaki and grey everywhere. All over no man's land, smoking, laughing, talking, drinking, eating. Hans Wolf and I shared what was left of our wonderful Christmas cake. Connie, he thought that the marzipan was the best he had ever tasted. Marzipan means a sweet covering on a cake made from sugar, egg, and almond. I agreed. We agreed about everything, and he was my enemy. There never was a Christmas party like it, Connie. Then someone, I don't know who, brought out a football. Great court were dumped in fields to make a goal posters, and next things we know, it was Tommy against Fritz out in the middle of no man's land. Hans Wolf and I looked on and cheers, clapping our hands and stamping out our feet to keep out the cold as much as anything. There was a moment when I noticed our breath mingling in the air between us. He saw it too, smiled. Jim Macpherson, he said after a while, I think this is how we should resolve this war. A wonderful matches and no one dies in the football match. No children were orphaned. No wives become widow. I didn't prefer cricket. I had preferred cricket. I told him then we Tommies could be sure to winning probably. We laughed at that and together we watched the game and sad to say Connie Fritz won. 2 goals to 1. Here the Jim Macpherson introduced himself as a school teacher of Dorset. Hans Wolf smiled and said he knew about the Dorset. Almost he had never visited the Dorset or been to England. Either he knew the England from school as he had read the books in English. His favorite writer was Thomas Hardy and his favorite book was Far from the Madding Crowd. Dusseldorf and the Macpherson also shared a Christmas greeting together, and Hans Wolf told him Jim that the marzipan was the best he had ever tasted. The Macpherson mentioned in his letter that this was a wonderful Christmas party that they had ever seen. Suddenly, another soldier brought the football on the ground, and the British and the German soldiers played the friendly match. Macpherson and Dusseldorf clapped and cheered the soldier. Jim Macpherson wished if the problem between two nations could be solved by football and matter instead of war. He said, because the football match no one will die, no children's were no no children's were orphans, and no wives were widow. And after that, in the football match, there Fritz won the match in 2 goals to 1. Page number 15 and 16. I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. There were paper chains up in the alleyway and lighted Christmas trees stood in the corner with a lopsided angel on top. I said I was friend come to visit Mrs. Macpherson to bring her a Christmas present. I could see though into a dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. The matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. She even offered me a mean smile. She walked me along the corridor. Mrs. Macpherson is not on with the others. She told me she rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had good rest. She has no family, no one visits, so I am sure she will be only too pleased to see you. She took me into conversatory with a wicker chair and potted plants all around left me. The old lady was sitting in wheelchair, her hands folded in her laps. She had silver white hair pinned into a wispy bun. She was gazing out at the garden. Hello, I said. She began a happy Christmas. Connie, I went on. I found this. I think it's yours. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. I opened the tin box and gave it to her. That was the moment her eyes lit up. Lit up means become bright with happiness or excitement. Okay, that was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face became suffused with a sudden glow of happiness. Suffused means glow of happiness spread all over the face. But I don't think she was listening for a while. She said nothing, but stroked a letter tenderly with her fingertips. Suddenly she reached out and took my hands. Her eyes were filled with tears, and she told me, you had come home by Christmas, dearest, she said, and her you are best Christmas present in the world. Come closer, Jim said, sit down. I sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek. I read your letter so often, Jim, every day. I wanted to hear your voice in my head. It always made me feel you were with me. And now you are. Now you are back. You can read it to me yourself. Would you do that for me, Jim dear? I just wanted to hear your voice again. I had loved that so much. And then perhaps we will have some tea. I have made you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around. I know how much you love marzipan. Michael Morforgo. The summary of this 2 pages. Later, the author went to there and found Mrs. Macpherson was an orphan, the old lady who was confined to a wheelchair at the Burlington house. And the matron offered him a mince pie to eat. He introduced himself, Mrs. Macpherson, as her husband friend, who had come to visit her Christmas. He wished her and handed over the tin box containing her husband's last letter to her. That moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face was filled with happiness. And with a sudden glow of happiness, the author explained that he had visited that he wanted to give that letter to Connie. The author explained that he had come to visit her, brought a Christmas present for her, and explained about the roll-top desk. Mrs. Macpherson's eyes were filled with tears and she was completely lost in his thought. She assumed that the author was her husband and asked him to sit beside, and she expressed that she missed him badly all the tears and were away to fight the war. Besides, she also said that she prepared a nice Christmas cake, marzipan, all for him because she knew how much he re- relished it. The story ended with a note that Mrs. Macpherson mistook the author for a long-awaited husband for whom she had been waiting. After reading the letter, the author put back the letter into the envelope and he decided to give the letter to whom it belonged. The next morning, he walked up early and went to Bridport. He reached the house number 12 and found the house in burned out shell condition. He knocked on the door of the next house to inquire about whereabout Mrs. Macpherson. An old man staying in the neighborhood, he said the house was catch by fire due to the probably burning of electricity. And he don't know how to catch that fire in that house. Now, it may be probably due to the burning of candle, he said. However, she was saved by the fireman and was admitted to a nursing home in the Burlington House or the Dorchester Road, on the Dorchester Road that was on the other side of the town. Page number 13 and 14. Connie Fitz won 2 goals to 1, but as Hans Wolf generously said, our goal was better than at theirs. So it wasn't quite fair. The time came, and all too soon, when the game was finished, the snaps and the rum and the sausages had long since run out, and we know it was all over. I wished the Hans well and told him I hoped he would see his family again soon, that the fighting would end and he could all go home. I think that this what every soldier wants. On board the soldier, Hans Wool said, "Take care, Jim Macpherson. I shall never forget this moment, nor you." He saluted and walked away from me slowly. Unwillingly, I felt turned to wave just once and then become one of the hundreds of grey coats men drifted back towards their trenches. That night, back in our dugouts means a shelter for soldiers made by digging a hole in the ground and covering it. We heard them singing carol and singing it quite beautifully. It was still snatch and still night. The, our boys gave them a rousing chorus of while Shepherd watched, and we exchanged the carol for a while, and then we all fell silent. We had had our time of peace and goodwill, a time we'll treasure as long as alive. Dearest Connie, by Christmas time next year, this war will be nothing but a distant and terrifying memory. I know from all that happened today, how much both armies long for peace. We shall be together again soon, I am sure of it. I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into its envelope. I kept awake all night. By morning, I know what I had to do. I drove into the Bridport, just a few miles away. I asked Bowie walked his dog where Copper Beaches was. The house number 12 turned out to be nothing but a buried out shell. The roof gaping, the windows boarded up. I knocked at the house next door and asked if anyone knew the whereabout of the Mrs. Macpherson. "Oh, yes," said the old man in his slippers. "He know her well, a lovely old lady. He told me a bit headed. Middle headed means confused. But at their age she was entitled to be, wasn't she? 101 years old. She had been in the house when it catch fire. No one really know how the fire had started, but it could well have been candle. He used the candle rather than electricity because she always thought the electricity was too expensive. The fireman had got here out of just in a time. She was in a nursing home now. He told me Burlington House on the Dorchester Road on other side of the town. Summary of this paragraph. Finally, the football match was came to an end. German won the match. Soon after, everyone had drink and enjoyed the food. Macpherson wished the Dusseldorf. It told him that they would meet again their families. He left with the gentle note that when the fight ended, they all could be go home and enjoy quality time with her respective family. Dusseldorf saluted the Macpherson and walked away slowly and unwillingly. That night the German soldiers were heard singing a Christmas carol. The English soldiers also gave them a chorus of while Shepherd watched. While concluding the letter, Mrs. Macpherson wrote to Connie all those beautiful memories.